Welcome to the Social Stack, your go-to channel for marketing tips based in technology for your real estate business. I'm Amy Stack, and today we're going to be talking about making a marketing plan for a client appreciation event. We will be going over using Oktoberfest as a specific example because we do have that coming up in our office. So if you guys stay through the end, you'll also get links to flyers and the kind of bullet pointed outline of what you should be doing when it comes to getting people to come to your events. So if you guys are in the E2P market centers, you know that we do Oktoberfest every year. It's been a couple of years because of COVID, but we are bringing it back. So if you need the specifics from your location, go ahead and talk to your market center leadership teams and they'll be able to help you with that. Yeah, Glen Ellen, we have already picked our date, so that's what inspired the class today. So Glen Ellen's is going to be September 23rd, so we'll be using that as our date for our timeline for all of our events so far. The first thing I want to go over is, I don't know how all the other market centers have done it, but in the past we've made kind of a document that you could reach out to, the front desk and they can kind of edit it and help you update things. This year we did it a little bit more simply, where we made a template in Canva for a flyer. And we're going to give you guys all the template links. So if you don't already have a Canva account, you can sign up for a free account. And you can take this template, I'm going to pull up in just a second, and you can use it exactly as is, or you can put your contact information on it, or if you want to put like a QR code or something, you can do that too. So you'll have the full access to be able to customize that to your needs for your clients. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And I'm just logged into Canva. Can everybody see that okay? See some nods? Okay, good. So this is the flyer that the Market Center made for everybody. And you can see it's a pretty, it's straightforward. There's not a lot of specifics on where to RSVP to or anything like that. It doesn't have anybody's name on it because we want to share it to you so that you can then customize it for yourself, your team, however you're running your Oktoberfest invitation system. I do have on here that RSVPs are due by September 9th, and that's because for Glen Ellen, the RSVPs are due to the office. I'm pulling up my calendar really quick here. So the event I said is the 23rd. The RSVPs are due to the office by the 16th. So by telling your guests that RSVPs are due by the 9th, that actually gives you an extra week to follow up with people if they didn't RSVP on time to you, so that you can get your information to us so we can get the information to the caterers. It's all a big little waterfall effect there. So again, if you're at another market center or you're doing a different event, just make sure you have your dates lined up so you know when to have that appropriate RSVP date by, and expect that people won't RSVP by the date on the flyer, and give yourself a little bit of wiggle room to follow up with them. So that's my biggest disclaimer for you here. So what I'm going to do, I actually already have this link shareable. I'm going to go ahead and copy it and put it in the chat right now. So if you guys do want to pull it up right now, you can. If you just want to save it for later, that's okay too. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in the chat. And like I said, if you have a Canva account, you should be able to just open that up and grab it. If not, you can set up a free account and use this invite to edit to meet your needs. So the reason I pulled this up, one, is to show you the flyer. Two, is to go over a couple of things that I highly recommend as far as RSVP collection is concerned. You can see I have a few tabs at the top here. And one of them is Eventbrite. Now, there are lots of different systems that can track RSVPs, so I want you to use the one that is easiest for you to use. I do like Eventbrite because it does send an automated email to people to say thank you for signing up. It offers to put that event on their Google Calendar or Outlook calendar, stuff like that. So that's a nice touch, and you can actually send reminders through Eventbrite as well. However, it doesn't have a ton of data that you can collect. There are some things you can customize with it, so you can play around with that. People I've seen also use Paperless Post, We see a lot of people doing a simple Google form, and you can really customize the questions that you're asking for registration, name, phone number, email. If you want their physical address, you could also ask, would they be interested in getting a monthly update on their local neighborhood? And then you can add them to a drip campaign for that. And that's, giving permission-based marketing. So they're telling you it's okay to send them that. So there's lots of different ways. For today, I'm just going to use Eventbrite here. And you can see I just created this test one, test OKF. So I put my little graphic in there right from the flyer, and you would just want to put a description about what the event is. And then this is what the public sees. So they can, I don't have it published so people can RSVP because it's just a test event, but they would be able to hit register and then receive that email with their confirmation. So for today, we are using Eventbrite as our RSVP capture system. And the reason I built this out is because this link is going to be important for you. I do like to make short links. So what I did is I took this Eventbrite link and I just dropped it into Bitly, and Bitly made a short link for me. And I do have videos on how to do this, little snippets of it. So I'm just going to copy that short link. And the reason I want to show you this is because you might want to put that right on this flyer here. So you could add a text box and put the link in there, or if you don't want to have to deal with changing anything on the flyer, what I recommend doing is actually going and hitting the share button, and you're going to download two types of files. One, we're going to hit download in this drop down here. One will be a PNG or a JPEG, but you want an image file because that's what you'll be able to use if you're texting people images or you're putting it on social media. I'm going to go ahead and get the PNG right now. And then it's downloading. You can see this little bar right here. The other file I want you to download is the same flyer. We're going to go ahead and hit share again, and we're going to hit download again. But instead of leaving it on PNG, I'm going to click that drop down, and I'm going to hit PDF, and you can do standard or print. And the reason I do the PDF is if I want to send a physical invitation to somebody, this is pretty much all ready to go. I could send this to a printer, I could print it myself and stuff envelopes, whatever is best for me and my world I can do. So I'm going to go ahead and hit download. You can also attach this to an email. A PDF, you will not be able to embed in an email. A JPEG or a PNG, you can. So a PDF will strictly be an attachment. The image file, you can actually build right into the body of the email. So that's why you want both styles, both file types. Like I said, you could absolutely come in here and edit this. Obviously, if you're at a different office and your dates are different or you're doing a different event, you want to make it make sense for what you're working on. So that's all I have for Canva. Do you guys have questions about how to use this flyer, how to get that link, how to download anything before we move on? No. Nothing in the
Never
chat.
used it, so not right now.
Okay, all right. Well, and Donna, that's why we did it this way, so that this flyer very specifically is something that is ready to go if you don't want to make edits. So we did build it out so that you could just download it, and then you can go ahead and type an email with all of your specific messaging. So you don't actually have to edit the flyer at all if you don't want to. So if you do have specific messaging and you did set up an Eventbrite or a Google form that you want to direct people towards, you can download this, put it in an email or a text message, and then write a message with it that says, hey, here's my link to RSVP. Go ahead and click on this, and then I'll know that you're coming and can send you a reminder, right? So that's part of the reason we did it here is, and this way, is that it is very ready to go, plug and play, so to speak. Okay, so we talked about Canva already, and I showed you that I made a test event on Eventbrite, and then I took that link and made it a Bitly link so it's nice and short. So that's three things we've used so far: Canva, Eventbrite, and Bitly. What I like to do timeline-wise, and this is something I'll give you guys the link to my timeline at the end of class, is about 8 weeks out. So we're ahead of the game right now, which is great. About 8 weeks out, we want to draft that invite. Let me stop sharing my screen here so I can see you. There we go. You want to create that invite. So I did it through Eventbrite, and we have the flyer in Canva. And then you want to send a save the date email. And if you guys are inviting anybody that wants to come, you want to go ahead and put a save the date on social media as well. So what I mean by that is sometimes you hosting client events and it's specifically for people you're working with or that you have already done business with. If that's the case, you don't really want to post it on social media for everybody to see, right? You want to send it specifically to those people. Now, if you are open to having other people come or people that may be potential clients, you can absolutely post that on social for everyone to see. So that's got to be a game time decision for you guys on who you're targeting to attend your events. Okay. Any questions on the 8 weeks out? That's kind of the first section we covered right there. No. Okay, great. Then I wanted to talk to you guys about 6 weeks out. If you are doing physical mailers, that's a great time frame to go ahead and send an actual invitation in the mail. So with Canva, like I said, you can download that graphic as a PDF. You can print that and stuff envelopes and send it. You can print it and do door knocking and go talk to your clients specifically and hand deliver those. You can also put information in a postcard in Command and target your database. So if somebody is already in your database with their address, you can make a postcard for Oktoberfest. You'd have to play around a little bit with the graphic because of the way that it's formatted. It's, it's a flyer and a postcard is, this way. So you'd have to play around with it a little bit that way, but you could send a postcard to your database right through Command. So if you guys are interested in that, I do have direct mail classes that are already recorded, or we can always, set up one-on-ones, or I can get you in touch with somebody in your area to do a one-on-one with as well. The most frequent thing that I've seen people do as far as physical invitations is just get them printed at like an Office Depot or a Staples or something on some nice higher quality paper, stuff the envelopes and mail them out. So we do that about 6 weeks ahead of time just to make sure, the mail's taking a little longer these days, but it's nice to get that physical piece of mail that's not a bill, right? To stand out a little bit from everybody else. You could even take that up a notch if you want to and put it in like a fun colored envelope for Oktoberfest. Maybe you find something with leaves on it, or you find like a bright orange envelope, just kind of make it stick out a little. So that's about 6 weeks out. And then 5 weeks out, you want to send another email that's not just to save the date, but it's got some more details to your sphere. So I'm going to pull up Command for that. I'm going to use Command as our example today. You can use whatever email system you're most comfortable with. But the reason I'm going to pull this one up is because I just want to show you how to quickly build that email and send it out. So I've already downloaded, remember, my Canva template as a PNG. So I'm in Command right now. On the left-hand side, I have this little designs icon. So I'm going to click on that. It looks like a little paintbrush. And then I'm going to hit create design in the top right. And I want email. So I'm going to choose email and hit continue. There's lots of templates in here. Personally, I like working from a template. I don't want to have to create something from scratch. An open house is a type of event. So I think that's probably going to be a good layout for me to use. So I'll go ahead and click modern open house as my template and hit next. So you can see once I've opened it, it's got all the placeholders for me. I just need to fill in the data and delete anything I don't want to use. And again, I do have classes that are more like in-depth on how to use all these different email features. But for today, I just want to, let me close this little guy here. I want to go over, my Chrome is freezing. I'm sorry about that. 1 second. We'll try that again. Might need to update it. Today, I just want to show you how to kind of plug and play the information in there. Let me refresh this page. I've been having some Chrome issues lately. I apologize, you guys. Basically, it's still happening. I'm going to exit and come back. I'll try that again. There is a spot to upload an image, and there's a spot that has some text in it. And we just want to customize that to make sense for our event. So we will upload the image that I already pulled from Canva. Right here is our image placeholder. If I click on that, you can see these little buttons pop up in the right-hand side. I'm going to hit that little pencil. Oh, I think my Chrome froze again. Shoot. All right. Let's see if I do one that's already edited, if Chrome will cooperate with me. Page unresponsive. You guys see my little pop-ups or just the command screen? Come on. Let me see if I can pull one up that's already done. All right, so I'm back in designs. These are all designs that I've already created. I'm going to see if there's a email one that I can just pull up instead of trying to create one from scratch, see if that makes any difference. Let's see. All right, let's do just a newsletter. Okay, so same thing. This is just a different outline. No, it's still not working, but all you will have to do is click on the image right here, and you'll see two little buttons pop up in the top right. One will be a pencil and one will be a trash can. So when you click that pencil, you'll have an option that pops up on the right-hand side. Oh, there we go. To replace your image. So I'm just going to hit replace here on the right. And I don't want something that's already in my system. I want to add a new image. So I'm going to hit add images and then find that file that I just downloaded from Canva. You can see here is Oktoberfest PNG. I can go ahead and hit open. And it's going to load that image in for you. And then you can go ahead and change the text as well. And now it's going to freeze again. Maybe. There we go. Image uploaded successfully. Great. But I can't click on it. It should populate right down here for you to select on, and then you can hit replace and it'll pop in. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that again. That was my mistake. There we go. So here's the image. We'll hit replace. And then I want to hit done just above where we uploaded that image, just a little to the left. We're going to hit done, and now it's popped in place. Now you'll notice that this is kind of squished, and that's because I put in a flyer size image into a smaller image placeholder. So if you don't like how that looks, you can then go ahead and click on that image, hit your pencil, and you can see underneath the image, there's width and height ratios. So my width is bigger than my height right now, and my flyer is actually taller than it is wide. So I can just swap those if I want to. We'll say 350 by 550. Hit done again. And now the proportions are a little better. So you can play with that as much as you want to make sure, you know, that it's in the right ratio for you. Then we have our text that we can edit. So like maybe we want this to say you are invited, or looking forward to hearing from you, to seeing you. Make sure you spell it right, unlike me. Looking forward to seeing you. And then click on your text box, and then you can put your details here, right? So your specifics. So if you're changing your RSVP date, right, make sure that that's corrected on the flyer first. But I would say this has like the basic stuff, but maybe you want to say, hey, there's going to be a photo booth. We're going to have raffles, you know, anything like that. You want to go ahead and add that information in there. Anything that's specific to the event, and, you know, why you're doing it. Why are you having this client appreciation event? Tell them that you are so thankful to have them and for their referrals, right? Go ahead and put that in there. And then you can also say what's in it for them. And that kind of goes into like the fun and the photo booths, free food, free drinks, that type of stuff. So that's what you want to put in there. Hit done, and then obviously you can have that customized to meet your needs. I don't need this extra box, so I'm just going to delete it. This is a button, okay? So remember, I made this bit.ly link, right? So I want to make this as easy as possible for them to RSVP. So I'm going to go back into command here. I'm going to hit this button that says link copy and hit edit. I don't want it to say link copy. Maybe I want it to say RSVP here. And then it says link to, and then if you could have a landing page you built if you wanted to, but I want to do a web address because I did use that Eventbrite. So I'm just going to put my bit.ly link right in there. And again, I'm going to hit done. And now my button has been updated. You can change the color of the button. You can change the corners to be rounded. There's lots of fun stuff you can do with that. I don't actually need the rest of these boxes, so I'm just going to select them and delete them.
Can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
So Eventbrite, it's not like you're really putting it out for everyone. You're just using it to get the link. Like you're not inviting the world.
No, you don't have to. You can, depending on, what your strategy is for inviting people. You don't have to use Eventbrite. You can use like Google Forms or Evite or paperless.
No, but I'm
posts,
saying
stuff
in,
like
in
that.
this situation, it actually goes to Eventbrite. It doesn't just make a link for who you're inviting. It goes out to anybody.
No, it's going to go to this Eventbrite event.
Okay, so what I'm saying, because I thought Eventbrite goes out to a bunch of people automatically, or it doesn't?
No, it depends on how you set it up. You
Oh,
can make it
okay.
a private event if you want to.
Oh,
Most of
okay.
the time it's out there, like open to the public, but it doesn't. Sometimes you can put like a password on it, right? So even if I stumbled across it and I don't know you and I shouldn't be coming to your event, if you have a password on it, I wouldn't be able to register for it. Right. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you are doing that, of course, you want to put the password in all of your communication for your clients so that they can get in. Right.
Okay.
So again, this is, of course, yeah, this is a very, loosely put together email here. I do want to point out that there's this little eyeball in the top right that's going to let me preview it. And you probably noticed that at the top and the bottom of that email, there were some like weird looking fields that looked like information was missing. When you click that preview button, it will populate everything for you so you can get a more accurate view of what you'll be sending out. So you can see it populated my Market Center logo in there. We'd already seen this middle section. And then at the bottom, it put my legal footer in there with my contact information and all of that stuff to stay compliant. Okay. I'm going to hit the X on the preview. So let's say I love this. My messaging is great. I've got all the information I need. I can go ahead and I'm actually going to rename it before I close it. We'll call it Oktoberfest Test. So we can quickly find that later. And then I'm just going to hit save in the top right. And then I'm going to hit the X to exit out of that. Okay, so from this point, there's actually a few things you can do. And I want to walk through a couple of my other steps before we go through those next steps there, because you can just send that email as a one-time bulk email to a list of people through command. Now, if you have them tagged, that will make it much easier to find. However, with our event plan, we are, like I said, 6 weeks out was the physical invite that you'd want to send out. 5 weeks is this email invite. 4 weeks before, you want to do a text invite to the top 20%. So if you have a very large amount of people that you're inviting and you're just trying to get bodies in the door, when you're texting people, I would say pick the top 20% and focus on them as far as the texting goes, because that's going to be a lot of work to field all of those questions and, oh, so excited, I haven't heard from you, stuff like that. But if you're doing a very targeted list and you want everybody on the list, then go ahead and send the text to everybody on your list. So that's going to be about 5 weeks out. Then, 5 weeks is the email, 4 weeks is the text. And then 2 weeks before, you want to send another email and text reminder to anybody who has not RSVP'd. And the week of, another email and text to those that have RSVP'd saying, hey, can't wait to see you. We're really looking forward to having you at our event and catching up this week, right? And put the date and time in there. The reason I didn't go into how to send everything yet is because we have two options. For that one email that I made, we could just send that one email, and all these other email and text steps, we could send them all individually as that week comes up, as we need to get the information out. The second option is to actually prepare all of those emails and text messages ahead of time and create a smart plan. So what that would do is it would allow you to have them all set up at one time, add all of your people to it, or a people plan in Brivity, right? There's lots of different CRMs out there, so you can do this with your different ones. I know Follow Up Boss has some auto plans like that too. But you can have it all pre-made and ready to go, and you set it up one time, hit send, and it'll just run all these touches automatically, so you don't have to send the touches out every single week. So that's why I wanted to kind of pause when we were looking at the next step for that email. If you guys are doing some automated touches, of course, it will help you guys manage your time a little better. so that you don't have to be quite as hands-on. However, if people have RSVP'd to you already and you're sending out a reminder as part of your plan to people that have not RSVP'd, you will need to go in as people have responded to you and said that they can or can't come and take them off the list, because you don't want them to get an email or a text saying, hey, I haven't heard from you yet. Are you going to be able to make my event? So that is the one little caveat I want to put in there if that is a plan that you would like to run with. Do you guys have questions about that? Does that make sense on how all of that should flow? I see Noel nodding. Okay. All right. So what do you guys want to see? Would you like to see how to send things individually, or do you want to see how to send out that smart plan with multiple steps to it?
I want SmartPlan, but it's up to them.
All right. Well, we got a vote for SmartPlan. So what was that?
Multiple would be good. Setting it up.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll go with that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I know it's 10:58. We're going to go over a little bit if you guys are okay with that, so that we can get through that SmartPlan. Oops, I shared the wrong screen. This is what I'm going to send all of you guys. All right, I'll get you the link to that outline as well. And here we go. All right, so I've already created the one email, and in order for the smart plan to work, you'd need to make as many emails as you're planning on sending. So if you wanted to do like a save the date email, an official invite email, and a reminder email, there's those 3 different emails. So you'd want to build all of those ahead of time. For today, I'm just going to use this one for our example. And then what you do is come over to Smart Plans. It's the 4th icon on the left. Now, if you guys are on a team, you need to make sure you're coordinating with your team to see where your contacts are, because if your contacts are in the team account, you need to make the smart plan in the team account. If your contacts are in the personal side of command, you will need to make the smart plan in the personal side of command, because the 2 sides don't talk to each other. So just make sure, I don't want you to build it in the wrong side and then not be able to use it. There is a way that you can go ahead and publish it to the library from either account and then just pull it into the other account. So it's not the end of the world if that happens, but I'd like to save you guys as much time as possible. So just think through that, talk to the folks on your team to figure out what the best way to execute that would be. So I am in Smart Plans now, and I'm just going to start one from scratch. So up at the top right, I have a create button, and we'll call it, again, Oktoberfest test. We're going to hit apply. Blank slate, nothing's in here yet at all. So according to my timeline, I want to do a physical invite, an email invite. You know, we talked about all those different steps, and it's up to you where you want to start the plan. If you would like a task reminder to go ahead and send out those physical invitations that you want to print and send, you can start with create a task, and you can say send Oktoberfest snail mail invites. And if you wanted to put any more details about what that means, you can absolutely build out a description right here. For me, I think that triggers the right information. I know what to do with that. And then I want to set a delay. So on the right-hand side, we're going to find the button that says set delay. So we said the physical mailer should go out 6 weeks before. So that means we want to, and then the email would go out 5 weeks. So I'm going to make my delay 7 days, because that will be a week between the physical mailers and the email. So I have my physical mailer, a 7-day delay, and then I want to send my email that we just created. So you'll have to put your subject in there. Right, you're invited, client appreciation event, Oktoberfest, whatever you want to put in that subject line. And this is the part where you can absolutely just type in a simple little email message here if you want to, but we put that pretty design together with the graphic and the buttons and all that good stuff. So we want to go ahead and hit designs. So it's kind of in the middle on the left-hand side of the email section here. So I'm going to hit designs and then hit that blue button that says select design. And these are all my designs I've created in Command already. So I can go ahead and hit that OKF Test and say, got it. And now it's going to take me again to that email to give me an opportunity to make any updates if needed. I'm happy with it. So I'm just going to hit save and then the X. Whoops, I think my Chrome is freezing again. And it will, come on. Yep, I'm sorry guys, my Chrome, I think I need to update it. Just hit wait one more time, give that another shot. It's reloading. Thinking. But that will just be uploaded right into the SmartPlan for you to automatically send out. Oh, oh. Still thinking, there we go, there we go. Oh no, it didn't save it because my Chrome kind of quit. All right, we'll go real quick. Send invite, snail mail, I said. Then I did set delay, 7 days, and then I did send email. So designs, I'm not gonna click it all the way through again. Oops, Ute invited. So you would click designs, you would hit select design, choose this, and like you guys just saw, it will load that preview right in here for you, and you can always go ahead and edit it from that point as well. You don't have to go back into designs to edit it. You can edit it from right within that SmartPlan. Let me go ahead and hit save. I don't know if it'll let me save yet. I gotta do this here. We'll hit save. So I'm gonna make this skeleton with just that simple email just because Chrome keeps freezing on me. But like I said, you'll just click design, choose the one you want to feed in there, and then that'll populate in here. So we had 6 weeks before the physical, a week delay, 5 weeks, the email invite, another delay of a week. So we'll do another 7 days. And then we have the option on the right-hand side to add a text message. So I'm going to do send SMS/MMS. And this will allow me to send out a text as long as you have Twilio connected in command. It will send a text from your command account to all of your folks. Again, we have a little option here where you can do static or dynamic. So if you don't want the exact same message going to every single person, you want a couple of variations on it, you can choose this dynamic option, and you can add as many versions as you want by hitting add another text option. So that way, maybe if you have a group of people that are friends and you don't want them to all get the exact same message, you can have it be dynamic, and it'll be like, hey, we're having an Oktoberfest event. I'd love if you could come. Hey, we're doing this client appreciation event on September 23rd, right? So you can make them a little bit different if you want to. For time's sake today, I'm just gonna make one, and we're just gonna do a sample. And what I want to point out to you here is that you can use what's called a merge field. So you can make this text a little bit more custom. So I'm gonna say, hey, and then go all the way to the right of this text field, and you'll see a little F in kind of some brackets here. So I'm going to click that F, and we're going to look for contact first name. So now when the text comes through, it's going to say, hey, Bobby, hey, Noel, hey, Christy. So it looks like it's specific to them. It doesn't just look like a blanket marketing email, right? So you do, hey, and then their name, and then your short little message with your bit.ly link. So we're going to copy that link one more time. So you don't have to put a whole bunch of content in the text message because you're sending them the link to the RSVP page that has all the details. So you could just say you're invited to our client event, details and RSVP here. Can't hope to see you. You do want to sign it with your name. You can just type your name in. I am going to show you the merge field for something a little different because I know some of you guys are on teams. So if you are building the SmartPlan for your team, all your team members work with different people, right? And when this text goes out, you want it to come from the team member who knows the person that's receiving it. So you can put agent first name. And if you want to put their last name in there too, we can do the merge field for agent last name. And then you can even put in team name. If you want that in the text message. So then when you send your message as a team, when I'm working with Christy, it'll say, hey, Amy, the message, and then say Christy Stanley, Wardlow Group, right? Whereas if Bobby's working with Brian, it'll say, hey, Bobby, from, you know, the message in there. And let's say Brian's on the Wardlow Group too, then it would say Brian Quaid Wardlow Group, even though it's coming from one place, all the people on that team will get customized messages to their people with their information. So that's why I like showing those merge fields. You can do these merge fields right inside the body of the email too. So we didn't put a hi and a name in the email, but you can do that. And again, it's just going to be, hey, contact first name, right? Hi, Karen, blah, 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 blah. Here's this event. Come join us, right? Okay, so that was our 4 weeks before. And then we have on the outline 2 weeks before what to do. So we want to make another delay, and we're going to do 14 days on this one. And 2 weeks before is to send an email and a text reminder to anybody that has not RSVP'd. So we want those to happen on the same day. So I'm going to hit send email and send text, and we'll put our message here. Hope you can make it. Looking forward to hearing from you, whatever that message would be. And again, you could have an email that you made in designs and click on this design button and pull that in, or you can just have a simple email and say, hey, haven't heard from you about our upcoming event. We would love to see you, blah, 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 blah. Put your link in there. Copy that one more time. I think it might be saved on my clipboard. There we go. Put our link to RSVP in there. I like to highlight it and hit that little link button so that it gets that blue color so they can actually just click on it. So if you don't highlight it and click that link button, the link will be in there, but they'll have to copy the link and paste it into a web page. If you highlight it and click that link button, they can just click on it and it will take them right there. So you put your little message in there, and like I said, you can choose to do it through a design, or you can do it on this simple email like this. Now, because there's no delay between step 7 and step 8, both of those things will happen on the same day, okay? Now, this is what I was telling you. If you do send this out that's saying, hey, we haven't heard from you, that means you need to make sure that anybody that has RSVP'd, you've taken off of the SmartPlan already. Otherwise, they're going to be like, no, I told you I couldn't come. Why are you bugging me about this? Or I already told you we would be there, right? And you don't want to bug them with that. So that is step 7 and 8, which is 2 weeks before the event. And then our next step, the final one, was the week of the event. Send the can't wait to see you text and email. So we'll do another delay of 7 days. And then again, we're going to do an email and a text on the same day. I don't think I put a subject line in this one, so it won't let me save it. Here we go. And just like before, we have the option, of course, simple or designs email. Can't wait to see you. Event details. So anything new that's come up, or if you have parking information or registration information, you can put all of that in there. And then of course, put your signature in there, all that good stuff. And then same thing with the text. You still have the option to send dynamic text if you want multiple things to go out. If you want everybody to get that same message, just keep it on static and then do hi. And your merge fields, so contact first name. Can you believe it? Oktoberfest is almost here. We can't wait to see you on Friday. Right? Whoops. Or whatever that message is that you would want to do. And again, make sure you put your name on there, at least your first name, if not both names, because this is coming from a different number, not your personal number. So we don't want them to get confused on who is communicating with them. So that is all of the steps in the outline. I'm going to go ahead and hit save on this guy. Oh, forgot to put a subject line in there. And now we've taken a little bit more time up front to build out this whole plan. But once I add people to it, it's just going to run through. So that prevents me from having to go build an email every single week and remember to do all of these tasks. It'll just run. The only thing you'll have to keep track of is as people RSVP, you just want to pull them off of that SmartPlan. So I'm going to hit save on this. I'm going to show you how to take people off. as well. These are some smart plans I already have running. You guys see these numbers that say 10, 7, and 228 here. So this we're hiring one, if I go ahead and click that 10, you can see the 10 names that are on it. So if I know that Mike and Patrick have already RSVP'd to me, I can go ahead and hit this confirm unsubscribe button, and they will come off of the smart plan. Now, what that means is that we took them off from receiving that reminder to, hey, I didn't get a response from you. So that also means they're not going to get that last message of, hey, we can't wait to see you. So what I do have some people do is do the smart plan all the way through that last section, that's email and text reminders to non-RSVPers, right? And they don't actually put the week of reminder as part of the smart plan. They will do this instead. They'll come down and they will add one more step. So instead of these last two, email and text, can't wait to see you, they'll do a task that says send, can't wait to see you, email and text. And then you will get a task reminder saying it's time to go do those things. Does that make sense? All right, so that was, we covered a lot today. What questions do you have so far? Is there anything you want me to review for you? What did you learn today? I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so I can see you guys. Oh, I see some stuff came in the chat. Sorry about that. Yolanda, can you show how to send individually to? Yes, I'll do that. And Karen, for text, do you just use command or do you have other options? I just use command because it's all built into the one system. The notifications come into my command app. They come into my command platform. There are a lot of other texting things out there, different portals, apps, stuff like that. You can absolutely use that. If you do, it won't sync with command. So this is a good question. You would want to make a task reminder instead of that text step to remind you to go ahead and send that text message out if you're using a different system for the texting, which is totally fine. When you do that, as you saw when I created the task reminder, I still had a description. So if you have a specific message you want to send out, you can write that message in the description. So when you do get the task, you don't have to think about what to say. You can just copy and paste it from command into your other texting system. So that was a great question. Thanks, Yolanda. Oh, that was Karen. Sorry. Thank you, Karen. Yolanda's question was, can you show us how to send them individually? So Yolanda, do you mean send them as just one email or do you mean like adding people to the smart plan?
I would just, because like you were mentioning before, maybe you don't want this invitation to go to everybody, maybe just a specific group of people. So I want to be able to pick and choose who I send it to.
So when you can do that whether you're sending just one email or your whole smart plan. There's a few ways to send smart plans. One is actually from within the plan at the top right. There's this add contact button, and you can search for specific names here. Let's see if Brian's in my test account here. There we go. So I can send it to Brian, or I can go ahead and look for a whole tag. If I have my people grouped together, I can look for my tag here and I can get my whole list of everybody that's on that. See, I've got 141 people with that tag. And so I can select all on each page here and add all of them to the smart plan. Is that kind of what you're looking for?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Yeah, my pleasure. All right, so I'm gonna hit save on that. So that's how you can do it from within the smart plan. You can also do it through contacts, or if you set up the smart plan, you're like, oh shoot, I forgot somebody, you can pull up their contact card and just add it right there. I think I'm in here myself. So I'm just gonna pull me up. And then on the right-hand side, we'll see at the top a smart plan button. So I'm just gonna tap smart plan, hit that add smart plan button, and then there's my Oktoberfest one right at the top because it was my most recent one. So I can hit select and I can hit add to plan, and I can hit start now or start on a following date and choose when I want to send that out. So that's another way you can add them to the plan. All right, good questions. What is something that you guys learned today that you want to implement when you're doing client events? Anything?
The timing. Sometimes I don't know exactly when to send things out, and then all of a sudden it's 2 weeks before and I'm like, crap, I haven't invited anybody yet.
Yeah, that's important, right? It's like you spend all this time, you get wrapped up in the planning of the event, and then all of a sudden it's a week away and you're like, oh my gosh, I never invited anybody. So this will help you stay on top of that to make sure that those reminders are going out. I'm going to put in the chat right now the timing outline. So it's going to be a link to a Google file, so you guys can save that link. And it also has the link to the Canva template in there. So it's all in the one spot. It just says Amy Stack Client Event Advertising Plan. And again, this is just a good bones, you know, for you to use for your events. I didn't put a lot of social media touches in here because I find that more frequently with client events, they're targeted to specific people and it's not just a general invite to everybody. If you are doing something that's more looking to bring more people in and maybe get new clients, I would definitely add some more social media touches in there to grow awareness around that. I do have a couple of recorded classes about follow-up plans too. So this is getting people to the event. Once you get them there, of course, you're going to talk to them and have a great time with them and take pictures and everything, but you want to follow up with them after the fact. So you want to do a whole follow-up plan as well to really optimize your time and your money that you've spent on these events that you're putting together. All right. Any other questions I can help you with today? Okay. Like I said, oh, what was that?
Said thanks.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for
Happy
coming.
birthday.
Thanks,
Hey,
Ryan.
Amy,
Yes.
any chance you can share that SmartPlan so we can kind of play around
Yeah,
with it?
absolutely. I will go ahead and publish that to the SmartPlan library. Like I said, you guys saw what I did. It's very bare bones. So it's got the outline in there, but you'll have to customize all your content.
Yep.
And I think it's just called OKF Test. So I'll just leave it that name so you guys will know that it's, you know, it's just bare bones. And then it'll be published from my name. So you can either search by author or look for OKF Test. I'll do that right when we get off camera today. I'm happy to share that. So yeah, great suggestion. And then I see Karen had one more question. What is the difference between Evite and Eventbrite? They're just different invitation systems, Karen. So I would use whatever you're most comfortable with. Personally, I find that more often than not, my Evites end up going to my spam. I don't know if that's just my email or if that's the Evite system, but I do know Eventbrite does a lot of, like, you can do paid ticketing, you can do the passwords on it, so there's a little bit more functionality with that. I do really like Google Forms for capturing RSVP information too, just because you can really customize it a lot. And then if you guys don't want to do a SmartPlan, or maybe you're not using Command, you're using another platform, Eventbrite does have options to send out reminders too. So that's a nice feature of that platform. So, all right. Any other questions I can help you with? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming. Of course, I can't remember off the top of my head what next week is, but I'll be here again at 10:30 with something new and fun for marketing and technology for your real estate business. I'll see you
Thanks,
later.
Amy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Amy.